bank. We've got a bank branch right up the street here. So, but I'm not only a loan officer that does my own business. I also run the department, so I'm the area manager for Rhode Island. So the other LOs report to me. Been doing this for about 18 years now. I've been a consistent top producer for about a decade. I'm top 1% in the state. The reason I'm mentioning it is because I do a lot of business and I oversee a lot of business. So scenarios that you guys have that you think are out there, have never heard of, chances are I've been through it 4, 5, or 10 times. So when I got into this industry, my main focus really was working with real estate agents. I come with a finance background and an organizational structure background, and I could see there was a real need for people to dig in professionally and work specifically with the agents to help them, to help support them. I love when I get phone calls for, you know, I'm gonna list a condo and I'm not sure if it can go Rhode Island housing, and that's the kind of property it's probably gonna go. I love when I've got a multi-family, it's a 4-unit, but it's got a basement apartment, we don't know if it's a 5-unit, will it go commercial? Use me as a resource. Call me with questions, call me with scenarios that you have. If you've got buyers that need any help, let me know. I'm always available, because the last part of that, and I'll end here, is I don't work banker's hours. I'm available on weekends. I was doing pre-approvals all weekend. Unfortunately, I did 3 for the same house for 3 different people, but and drove in this morning and none of them got it. But anyway, that's the nature of the beast. So certainly reach out. Each one of you guys, did anybody not get a pint glass with my cards in it? If you didn't get one, let me know. Okay. But my cards are in there, so if you need to reach out. So we'd love to help. But thank you. Enjoy.
Thank you. And next, I'd like to introduce Rhonda Mesenbourg. She is going to teach us a class on RPR, which I think is wildly underutilized by most of the real estate agents in Rhode Island and all over. So thank you, Rhonda.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. So I'm Rhonda Mesenbourg. I'm an agent with Keller Williams Realty. I also run a team, Elkhorn and Mesenbourg, and Elkhorn is my business partner. And you know, like probably a lot of us in the room, I myself was not utilizing RPR. I knew it was something in my dashboard on MLS when we log into MLS, and it's one of those icons there. Yet I really was like that was not my go-to place when I was looking up property information. And then I started to learn a little bit more about it, and I all of a sudden just became very passionate about talking to my team about it and talking to agents in our market center about it, and myself making that be one of those tools in my tool belt for when I'm looking up property information, when I'm doing an analysis and going on a listing presentation. I'm going to RPR to gather that information. There's so many tools in there, and you can look at things, you can look at neighborhoods, you can look by schools. So if somebody says, this is the school district I really want to be in, you can search for properties in that school district by using RPR. If somebody says, you know what, I work in Providence, or I work at a specific location and I want to be within a 30-minute drive of that location, right? How many times in the past are we going into RPR, we're trying to figure, okay, let's say it's going to take me, it's probably, I go this fast, I can get there, it's probably this mile radius around it. Well, in RPR, there's a tool for drive time that you can go in and you can just plug that in, and then you can get a list of those properties. It connects up with niche.com for school information, so for school ratings, right? Instead of sending our clients to Zillow to look at school ratings, we can get them that information. We can hand them a report that has all of the schools and what their ratings are, including reviews. So it's a really powerful tool on so many levels. So I'm excited just to show you today. And this is one of 3 series. Today, we're going to be presenting Do Some Digging, Research Properties, Neighborhoods, and More with RPR. So before we get started, did everybody get the 3 handouts? Okay, and if anybody is on Facebook Live, hello and welcome. And if you have questions, my contact information, I'm Rhonda Mesenbourg, Keller Williams. If you have questions afterwards, anybody please reach out. I'm happy to help. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through these slides first, and then I'm actually gonna go jump on the computer over there so I can actually do a little bit of a demo for you and take you around RPR so we can get started. And then if you have your iPad, feel free to play along, or you'll be able to do it afterwards and just go start digging around. So first of all, let's talk about what is RPR. So RPR is NAR's technology company. It's a wholly owned subsidiary. It's a national parcel-centric database for residential and commercial properties. One other really cool thing is that if we're utilizing MLS, which is great, MLS, if the property's in MLS, MLS will give you the details. However, RPR also includes public records. So you can also find properties that may be sold on the public record and maybe that they weren't entered into MLS. So it really is a complete database of all of the properties that we deal with here in Rhode Island and beyond. It's through the National Association of Realtors. It's built exclusively for realtors. There's no charge for it as part of our NAR dues, and there's no consumer access. So this is value that we can provide to our agents, to our customers. Our customers cannot access RPR. They need their realtor to do that. So it's a value add to let them know that you have access to this really powerful tool, and if they have questions, that they should of course be coming to us because we're the ones that can help them. And if anybody has questions, please raise your hand, because I would love for this just to be interactive. I don't want to just talk at you for an hour. So if you have questions or comments, feel free to just stop me and let me know. So where does RPR fit into our business model? As agents, we're there in the middle, and this is another tool in our tool belt. So of course, we have MLS, we have the National Association of Realtors behind us. We have our broker, right? The broker that we are affiliated with. We have our community of realtors. That's one of the things I love most about Rhode Island is the relationships that we all have with each other. And I know that for all of us, we have those realtor relationships where maybe we're like, oh gosh, I've never seen this before. And you call another realtor in your market or on your team, and we mastermind about that. We do a lot of masterminding here at Kent, Washington too. And then RPR is in the wheel tool too, because that is another tool that we have in our tool belt. So today we're going to talk a little bit about research features. So we're going to talk a little bit about on and off market property searches. So we're going to do a couple of property searches where you can see all of the data that you get just by looking up an address in RPR, all the information that is available to you. You're all of a sudden going to have so much information about this property that when a client says, hey, I'd like some information about 123 Main Street, you're going to be able to give them information on the property itself, the neighborhood that it's in, and some market data to go along with it. We're going to talk about map research, geographies and mapping tools, and that's where I talked about you can look up properties by school zone, by drive time. So there's a lot of by neighborhoods. There's a lot of tools there in that map research. Neighborhood searches, and then like I said, school search, and then market trends. So you can pull the market trends right out of RPR, right? RA Living does a really good job with their statistics. Who looks at those on a monthly basis? We wait for like the 18th of the month or the 19th of the month when the new stats come out from the month before. Well, now you can just go into RPR and you just have them already in your fingertips. You don't have to wait for that. So the need for research. So if somebody is looking at a property or wants information on the property, right, what typically are they looking for and what can you provide to them? By using RPR, you can find the property history, you can look at all the property history, you can look at the insights of the neighborhood that that property resides in, you can look at school data, you can look at the market trends, consumer outreach, and then all of this together, it just provides a value to your clients and to your customers. And there's a variety of reports in there. So based on the data that you're pulling, you're going to be able to choose a report that matches it, and it's going to put it in a nice, neat little package where you can go in and customize the reports. You can add custom pages if you had custom pages you maybe wanted to add about yourself or your team. You can leave out pages. Some of them are very lengthy. You can go through and say, I don't want this information, I just want this information. So it's completely customizable. And the first time you go into RPR, if this is going to be the first time, make sure the first thing you do is set up your profile. So make sure your headshot is in there, all of your contact information, your brokerage information, because on those reports it's going to be totally customized to have your information on it. So when it's going to your clients, it's coming directly from you. Any questions? Has anybody set up their profile yet in RPR? Oh, good job. Okay. Look, we're halfway there. So let's talk about neighborhood insights. So neighborhood insights, we're going to search for neighborhoods in an area. Now, 49% of 2022 buyers, quality of neighborhood is a top priority. So RPR has joined up with AARP, so you'll get the walkability score, is it the livable score? No, I didn't say that right. You're gonna get all of that information based on that location. There's going to be census data also and demographic data that is in that area as well. You're going to be able to compare nearby neighborhoods. You're going to be able to review housing metrics, and it's going to give you snapshots of people, economic, and quality of life. So value to our clients and customers. So historical knowledge. By using RPR, it's going to put you in the position for providing guidance on listing and offer prices, right? We can do that in MLS too, but you're going to have all of that data, and including public records, plus all of this other information to go along with it. And also market awareness. It's going to help you to demonstrate the currency of your market acumen. Okay, so I'm going to jump over there and bring it up. Any questions so far? No. Okay. All right, just give me a minute to log into my MLS here. You know, it never logs in the first time you try to get it to, so I'm trying to happy that works so flawlessly. Okay, so here on the screen, I'm just going to click on the RPR icon. Now, when you're logged into MLS, it's going to automatically log you right into RPR, so you don't, it's not a separate password. There is a mobile version, and so in that case, I think you will just log in with your MLS credentials, but when you are on the dashboard, it's just going to pop you in automatically, okay? So this is what the main screen here looks like. So you can see here across the top, you have these menu options: home, research, which is where we're going to spend some time, marketing, reports. There's also a learning portal in here. So if you do want more information or you want to learn how to do something, you can just pop yourself right into that learn menu option as well. There's help. And then of course you have your profile here, okay, where you can enter in your profile. So we're going to go under the research tab here, and we're going to start with the first option, which is a property search. So I'm going to actually just put in a property that I actually recently was involved in a transaction with the buyer. And when you start typing, it will actually start to populate, and it will, you can just click right on the property. So it has that smart address feature in it, which I really like. So this brings up this screen view. Now this is an off-market property, and it will tell you here, right? If it was on the market, it'll say active on the market, it'll tell you recently closed, or it will just say off-market. In this case, we closed on this in June. So I thought this was a good one because it's kind of central to the state for all of us. So looking down at this, you're going to notice that in this case it says what it closed for. It's also going to give you the RVM. So if I just hover over that little information, it says RVM estimated values are generated by an automated valuation model that uses on-market and off-market MLS data plus publicly reported sold data to provide estimated property value. So they're available for single-family residences, condominiums, and smaller multifamily properties. They're updated twice a month, okay? So anything that has that little eye on it, you can just hover over. They also give you a confidence score. So it will this will tell you that based on what that is, it's the system's confidence that that RVM is correct. Now you can see that it has it here, and then we closed at 4:55. And it was just updated, so it likely used this in calculating that. So now when this new homeowner goes on to, if they're on another site where it's showing that information, or if they're asking me, say 2 months from now, how's my property doing, I can come in here and this is going to continually update that number for you. Of course, you can continue to do market searches and do an analysis, but this number is just going to help support that. So scrolling down here, there's going to be a lot of information. So you're going to have, this was the description that was in MLS. It's going to have the property facts. Okay, so it's gonna tell you what the public facts are, and then also what the listing facts were. Now, if you're looking up this property, say it's a couple of years from now, this person now wants to sell the property, say they added another half bathroom to it, and maybe the property town records are not updated yet, you have the ability to go in here and add some changes right on the fly here in this screen. So scrolling down, it's going to also give you interior features. It's going to give you exterior features, the legal description of the property. It's going to give you, so it does say that it's here in the Warwick School District. It does not list any schools for this property, but if you click on this is clickable here, it's gonna open up a screen with the Warwick School District. It's going to tell you who the owner is. Now this is the old owner, it's not updated with the new owner's information as of yet. It will tell you if it's in a flood zone, which is really handy. We can do that obviously using the mapping tool of MLS, but just here you're not missing out by using RPR on that information. It's going to tell you whether or not it is in a flood zone. And then you're going to have all of the listing history on it. Public record history, so you're going to have the deeds. You can click on to see all the mortgage information, and you can even click to see all of the tax information. And then it's going to show you the graph of the estimated value. And all of this, you can click on all of these little points too. They're just points in time as well. Okay, estimated value versus assessed activity. And you can look at it over the course of 1 year, you can look at it over the course of 2 years, or you can look at it over 3 or all of the years. Okay, so that is just looking at property information. You can also then click on the next tab, and now you can look at the market trends for that specific zip code. So market trends for Warwick. It will tell you whether it's a seller's market, a balanced market, or a buyer's market, which we all know that it is a seller's market right now. It's going to give you the median list price, and it's going to give you the information as far as the number of properties, the median days in RPR, the median price per square foot, volume, and living area.
Is this for the town or for?
So this goes based on zip code.
Okay.
So and it will tell you at the top their bill too. So it will be for 02886.
So that's all there's 18 properties,
I
one
think
bedroom,
it's a
one bath,
snapshot
15
maybe of-
bedrooms.
Yeah, I think maybe it's a snapshot in a given specific period of time. And I think if we, so that actually, that's the active listings. So this graphic summarizes key statistics for properties that were in an active status on the last day of each month. So they use list date and a derived pending date to determine if a listing was active on the last date of the month. An end of month snapshot of active listing helps to understand inventory levels, price points, and duration of the market. So same thing with sold listings, and this is just for June of 2023. And then in the public record, it separates those out. It will tell you about listing inventory for that zip code, number of distressed properties, and then it will give you a median estimated property value. You'll have sold comp statistics. It will list in yellow the property that you have put in, so the property that you are looking at. Now this is, if you notice this number here, this is the RVM that it assigned to it. And then it will look at other properties that across various sizes. And you have price per square foot, age of home sold. So then if we go over to the neighborhood tab here as well, same thing. It's going to give you, as soon as you hit neighborhood, you notice all of these now changed. So under the neighborhood, if we go under, that was our summary. If we go under housing, it's going to give you some housing facts and stats. So estimated home values, the 12 months change, median list price, home age. New listings, we'll talk about active listings again. So you can just determine what information and in what format you want to portray this in. You go to the People's tab, it will talk about the population. We'll talk about education levels. It will break that down on household income, occupational categories. There's an economic tab as well, which talks about income per capita, economic facts and stats, unemployment rate. And then, like I mentioned, the quality of life, which it connects up with AARP. It will tell you if somebody wants to know about the average rainfall, and that you will have that information. Here's the livability index. And then you can, aside from all of the reports, you can just click, if you click the print button from that screen there, it's going to generate that report, I believe, just in that way. I know this was a little bit slow to put things together. But you can hit that, so you can hit that print button there. Give it a second. So any questions so far? What like off the bat, what do you think about all of that information that you can get from RPR? Helpful, right?
Good stuff.
Yeah, all of a sudden you're just armed with so much. Or, so that print button will print what you see on the screen. You can also always go to the create report button, and that's going to put you into the reports area, where you have this whole selection of reports. You can do a property report, and it'll tell you how many pages it is. There's a view sample for each one, so you can just hit these little buttons here. It will show you all of the pages that are included in the property report. If you didn't want to have all of those pages there, when you click the little plus sign there, it will highlight all of the pages that are available, and if you don't want something, you just simply uncheck what you don't want. And then when you're ready to create the report, you can personalize it and email it to your client directly, or you can just, usually I just display it now or download it as a PDF, and then I will email it to them as an attachment. That's usually what I do. And then at the top of your screen, you will have a little library of your most recent reports that you've done. So you have them just to be able to go in and for easy.
Can you do the exact same thing for a certain area, like the east side of Providence, or not just a house, but a certain area?
Yeah, so we're gonna go into, we're gonna do that, we can do that now. So we're gonna go over to the map search now. So in the map search, we are gonna search utilizing the map, so you can save areas. So you can find that location on the map, and then you can create a custom area for yourself that you can save under your saved areas. And then you will be able to, I have a few in here already that I've done over the recent. You can also pull in here and you can search by cities. You can search by zip codes. you can search by, here's the neighborhood, so you can do, like macro neighborhoods, intermediate neighborhoods. Usually I'll just kind of click around. It will, minor neighborhoods, it will, like if you click on them, it will then highlight it for you. And then you could either save this area, you can search in this area, there's a bunch of things that you can do. So let's look in the, let's do, let's look on the east side of Providence. So I'm gonna look up another property that we sold when I was on the east side. I'm sorry, we're gonna look up for, so under here, so you're gonna put your location in, and then under type and status, you can look for sale or for lease. You can look across the different statuses. Usually if I'm doing close, I'll always click to include the public records as well. You can, it'll say, do you wanna look for single family? Do you wanna look for condo or townhouses for co-op? You can look by price if you wanted to, and then you can also add a whole bunch of other filters if you wanted to. Okay, so then you have to hit the search button there. So very important, when you're putting it up here, it's not gonna automatically filter. It's gonna ask you to fill in all this across the top, and then you're gonna hit that search button. Here on the right side, you can zoom in or zoom out. So here's a little bit there of the east side here. You are going to be able to, there is a legend here. If you click on the legend, it's going to tell you, right? So these are squared. So this is what has been recently closed for that. I do want to go in here though, because I do feel like there should be more things on the market there.
Not a lot.
Not a lot, right? But it
No.
could be true. It
No.
could be true.
Especially from 400 to 700.
So let's see. Yeah, we don't have any pricing there. Okay. I'm gonna go back to 38 Birch Glen because I know I put this one in yesterday. I want to really be able to show you. Let's go to our map. I really want the map is what I want. So that's okay. Come back here. Let's do Warwick. Okay, there we go. All right, so I know, those are little buttons here. Okay, so Birch Glen is right over in this neighborhood here. This is where Birch Glen is. So you can see here, there are other icons on here. So now when we go to our legend, you're gonna be able to see which ones are for sale, which ones are pending, which properties, if there's any distress, but you're gonna have all these different icons that you can look across to be able to at a glance know that some of that data. So what you could do is you could also use this draw tool. So if I just really want this neighborhood here, you could come in here and you can kind of freehand if you want. You can draw the neighborhood out. If you're like, this is exactly where my buyers want to be. And then you can specifically just search in this area where it will really hone in there for you. You can also, by clicking on it again, you can say save area, and then you can name this area, right? So I can name this area Birch Glen, and then you can save it, and then now it's going to be here. So now when I go under my saved areas, that's going to be a list right there. So if it's for your buyers that they only want this very specific area, you can set that up in here, so you can go in here and you can take a look in there. So down here along the side, you also have the driving here. So it can be travel time. So you can enter in, where you want to come to. So let's say it's Rhode Island Hospital, where I work. And you can say travel by car, I'm leaving, you can put the time that you're leaving. Right, let's say it's Friday, and you want your journey to be no more than 30 minutes. And so that's going to just give you a map of pretty much where you'll be able to, this does not have us in Rhode Island. So there must be a different Rhode Island hospital, but it will kind of show you that map where you can, where you know to pinpoint those properties, which is kind of cool.
So could we do an auto search, just like MLS, and be alerted for that particular buyer and will be downloaded everywhere?
So I don't, so I think you can, I don't know that it would do it automatically. That's a really, really good question. In everything that I've learned so far, I don't know that it will automatically give you alerts, but I will find out. I'll actually find that out, because that's a very good question. I haven't used it in that manner. And then even at the second part for our next class, I can report back on that.
Perfect.
Too. Yeah, absolutely. Or I can grab, I know that Linda has everybody's contact information, so we can find out the answer and then just send out an email, so that way that you have that information. And any questions that you have, if it's something I can't answer, because it's so powerful and there's so much to it. I still learn on a daily basis. It's really, I just kind of get in here and start clicking around, and I usually find something new every time I'm in here. So I've learned a lot through the certification process, but also just going in there, like trial and error. Go in there and just click around and be like, oh, what does this button do? This is like really cool. So anything I can't answer, I'm happy just to find that out for you. Okay, so I want to, because I know it's about 10 after 12, I want to make sure I have time for questions and answers. So let's go under the residential market activity. So you can adjust filters here. So anything up here, you can adjust those filters. So again, if we look in, Warwick, Rhode Island, I'm actually just going to pull up a bunch of stuff here. I'm going to just do those. I'm going to keep the prices the same. I'm not going to look at beds and baths. So it's going to, again, bring up everything for the market activity. So if you're just looking across and you just want to see all the market activity, you can just come here and it's going to give you all of that. Now, this is the map search. So we're looking at it on the map. So you have these icons here. So we're here on the map. If we go over to here, now it's actually going to list all of those properties out for you. So here you can just look through all of these properties if you're looking for things. If you're like, I just want to see what's active on the market right now, and I really only am interested in single families, you can get rid of all of these other ones. There we go. And that's changes in the last 3 months. You can even go back even further than that to 6 months. It's going to then give you only single families based on your criteria. So that way you can go through, you can favorite the ones that you want to favorite. Okay, and then you can unfavorite them if you want to. Okay. So you can do things like that. If you hit the grid, you're gonna get them in this fashion as well. Now, we're gonna talk in a different class, just to give you a little bit of taste. We're gonna talk in one of our other classes about how you can utilize this to find seller clients. When I have a buyer who's looking in a specific neighborhood, I'll come in here and find the neighborhood. I'll pull up this list of properties, and then I just click on make mailing labels, and I get mailing labels where I can send them a handwritten note and just say, hey, thinking of selling, I have a buyer who's interested in your neighborhood. So aside from just looking up the property, if somebody asks you about a specific property, if you're looking for somebody and they say, hey, I want you to look up 123 Main Street for me, and you come in here and you find all the information, you can say to them, hey, I also did a neighborhood search and I found that there's 20 other homes in the neighborhood around here, and maybe we should reach out to them too, right? So just in this market where we're trying to create inventory and we're trying to find homes for our, our list of buyers, you can use RPR to be all of those things for you. Okay, any questions on any of that? So I just want to lastly show you the school search. So I'm going to pull up schools. Let's see, Providence, Rhode Island. Let's see here. So if you do this, you can go, if you know the school name specifically, if somebody wants information about a specific school, you can enter it here. You can also go under school type as well. So if you're only interested in high schools, you can just uncheck the other two. If you want they want a complete snapshot. Now it's going to pull up all of the schools for you. You're going to be able to sort them by rating, by school name, or by proximity. It's going to give you a scoring system. And then you can even click here, and then you can see nearby listings to that school. Right? Super handy if somebody says, I really want to be in this school district. You can also click on the Create Report button, and then there is a school report that's right there for you. And again, you can go in and you can uncheck anything that you may not want to include in that report, but you can do it right there from this screen. You can click on the school itself, and it will give you even more detailed information on that school. Again, it'll tell you what the rating is. You'll be able to create the report right from here, view listings. It will tell you all the information about the school. It will give you comparisons and ratings for that school against the rest of the city schools. And then even on the right-hand side, it also is going to list those nearby listings for you. It will also tell you what other schools are nearby as well. You can also look at reviews for the school. So this comes right from niche.com. They provide the reviews, and they're always in descending order, so the most recent will be at the top for the schools, okay, for reviews. So it's partnering up with niche.com, and it's just pulling all of that data in. Okay, so it's like 12:15. So what questions do you have? What are your thoughts? Do you find this to be helpful? Is this something that you think you might want to incorporate into your?
Yeah, so I'm a newer agent, trying to watch, so I'm definitely gonna use it, especially for my nephew. That's why I'm asking about, he's Providence. He's
Okay.
looking right now.
Yep.
So I'm gonna use this and play around, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we're gonna do, like I said, there's a couple of other, there's so many little, there's, so many options up here and things that we can do. I mean, I think this is a great series for us to have these classes regularly, just to really talk about the tool and just to get very proficient at it. And like I said, the first couple of times you use it, you're gonna stumble around and you're gonna be like, I can't find it. But use the help button and go under the learn button. There's a lot of really good, short webinars that will give you the insight to use one little piece of it. But if you use this, the reporting tools are fantastic. They look much more professional than doing the MLS CMA, pulling it out of MLS. you just get all of those additional pages.
Would you mind just showing where you update the profile information?
Oh, sure, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everybody should absolutely do that because then it will show up on all of your on all your reports. So when you log in, if you just come up here by your picture and you go to your profile, it's right there. So here you'll be able to upload your photo. You'll be able to upload your logo. You'll have all of your contact information. So you just come in here, fill out all of your contact information, your website. You can also list your licenses as well. So you'll be able to, if you're licensed in Connecticut or Massachusetts, you'll be able to add all of those licenses in there. It also will ask for your MLS information, so that way you can pull in for your MLS information. You can create assistant users, so if you are working with somebody who is an assistant to you, you can add them in here for you as well. And then you can, you can get updates and news and all of that, and then just save your profile. So it's as simple as that. There's also a mobile version of RPR. So you go to the App Store, whether you're Android or iPhone, and there is a mobile version. So you can have it on the fly too. If you're in the car and somebody says, hey, I want some information on this property, you could instead of going into the MLS mobile, you could just pull it up in RPR as well. Does that answer your question?
Would you know, Rhonda, if, I believe at one time RPR, if you were a new member and you were pending, you don't have full active status, I'm not sure if they can create an account. That may have changed, but if any of you are the newer members and you're considered pending, give us a call, and we will make you active so that you can get into RPR and start using it.
Yeah.
And then we'll just monitor your requirements for membership, active membership status. But we don't want you not to have access to RPR. But I think it works that way. I don't know if you know anything different.
Well, I think it's also true that if you're not signed up with one of the boards, that you need MLS, that gets your MLS access as well.
Yes,
right?
it all has to do with your
yeah.
member one, they used to call it NRDS number.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But it's the status of your membership.
Okay.
So if anyone has a problem, call us and we'll get that fixed.
Yeah, and then when you go into the reporting, tools, like I said, so that profile here on the right, this is what it's going to. You can also edit your profile right from here, but when you click on, I'll just pull up this report. So when you pull up the report that it creates, it's going to have, as long as you have all that stuff filled out, it's going to have it right here at the bottom of the screen. And it makes a really nice presentation. Right? It just looks very professional. And it has, the report, it has all of those features that you want on the report, and then the very last page of the report, it also explains about RPR and where you're getting this data and how this data is becoming compiled. So it becomes very clear that you just have this resource for them. Okay, any other questions? Okay, well, this was really great. I appreciate you all coming today and just taking the time to learn about it. It's great for us just to share ideas and mastermind together about things that are working for all of us. I think that as realtors here in the state of Rhode Island, I think we set the bar pretty high for other areas. I think we really show that we care about our clients and we care about each other. We work well together. So I certainly appreciate all of your time and you guys coming out today to learn about it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great teaser for next time.
Thank you, everyone, and don't forget to register for the next session, which is August
today's the 17th, I think it's the 24th. Is it next Monday?
I think it is next Monday, isn't it? I think it's the one right away.
Yeah, I can pull it up right now, because I do have it, it's on my calendar.
Hey guys, good luck to you.
August
August
17th,
17th.
Oh, it's August
17th.
and then 24th, August 9th.
Linda's like, that does not sound right to me.
Next week can't be August, no, it can't be.
Yeah, thank you so much.